payroll. So next segment, without further ado, Simone from MYOB talks about the whole gamut: workforce management, payroll, of course, exo business. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to bring in Sophia Sun first, and then we'll hear from Julia Padgenton second, and they will do a bit of a tag team of taking employee from start to finish using the products Payroll and MYOB Advanced Payroll and Workforce Management. Over to you, Sophia.
Thanks, Grant. Hello, everyone. Workforce Management is a cloud-based software fully integrated into Advanced Payroll site. It incorporates some HR and time attendance functions such as employee onboarding, rostering, timesheets, etc. Today, I will walk you through these functions. Our special guest, Julia, will also take you through the payroll side. We will work together to give you a clear idea about how we could make your life easier. At the moment we log into the workforce management, we will see the dashboard. In the upper left corner is the company location hierarchy, which has been pre-configured in your system. Below that, we will see some reminders. You may find them annoying, but they are very important to your business. Some reminders such as the employee requirement. These are the expired licenses, qualifications, and the visa reports for your employees. Other reminders such as unapproved leave requests, unapproved timesheets, etc. Below that, we may see some graphs suggesting different key information about your business, such as employee lateness reports. On the right-hand side, we can see today's staff, showing who have been rostered, who are on shift, and who have finished for the day. Now, let's talk about onboarding. Workforce management allows some generic and specific onboarding setup. It will allow a paperless onboarding process, which will avoid any paper cut in your fingers. Let's have a look at the settings in the system. Firstly, under company settings, onboarding settings. In here, we could specify the required qualifications and documents that we require our employees to upload. We could also specify the default superfund information as well as the invite optional message which we will show to our employee in their onboarding email. Another function is called onboarding settings. In this page, we could upload a document that will require our employees to view and sign while they have been onboarding. So they've got some substituted fields here. For example, during the onboarding process, this message will be conveyed to the employee together with this document. This field will be replaced by the employee's actual name. Below that, we can see that we can also customize the access of this document by specifying the location and the position of this document. For example, this job description will only be shared with the employee who has been hired for this specific role. Now let's do an end-to-end onboarding process to invite a new hire to join our company. If we go to hire section in here, in this page, we can enter the information of our potential employee so that this employee can receive the email in their personal email account. We need to provide the employee's basic information such as their name, email address, position, location, etc. Permission group in the system refers to the employee in future as a user, what the employee can do and can see in workforce management. There are some default permission groups set up, such as administrator, employee, manager, etc. But we could always customize the permission group based on your own requirements. Below that, we can see some employee entity, employee type, employee pay information, and reporting manager. Then is the employee commencement date. In this customer document area, we need to upload a document which is specific for this individual employee only, such as employment contract. Once we click send, the employee will receive an email like this in their personal email account. The theming, color, and its company logo is customizable. Employee can simply go to the onboarding portal by clicking this Go to Onboarding link. In this page, employee can see their basic job details. By clicking Sign, employee will sign for the acceptance of these job details, the system captures the employee's IP address, which is categorized as the electronic signature both in Australia and New Zealand. Click Continue, give consent to the terms and conditions. In this page, we need to provide the basic information of the employee. I have pre-populated the information for our mixed sample today. In this page, employee can upload their personal identification, such as their driver license, visa status, etc. In this page, employees could upload their qualifications, which is required for this role, such as their forklift driver license, criminal clearance, or their certificate for their COVID jab. Employees can do TFN declaration and Medicare levy declaration without submitting any manual form in this page. In this page, employee could provide their bank details with an allocation of percentage or amount. In this page, employee could provide their superannuation information in this page. This is linked to a lookup database from ATO. Medical emergency contact for this employee. In the end, we can see that the employee can access their documents, which we have uploaded in their onboarding process. I need to go through all these documents. Once the employee click submit, this will bring us to the end of the onboarding process. At the same time, employee will receive an onboarding email like this, directing them to download their mobile app so they can start clock on and clock off. But at the same time, the employee master file will be pushed through to both workforce management site and advanced payroll site. Julia is our payroll administrator in our sample company, and let's welcome her to present to us what she will do and what she can see in her site. Julia, over to you.
Hi, Sophia. Thank you very, very much for doing the onboarding. I'll get right on to getting them into the payroll now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my payroll, and normally I would get an email from the payroll system because Sophia is the HR person. If I was the HR person, I wouldn't need an email. I would know to go into the payroll and sort the person out. So what I could do is, there's Mr. Sample. I'm going to click on the person's name. And what I can do is double check here. But if I click on pay details, it'll take me straight to the payroll. And here is the person that needs to be onboarded. It'll tell me if there are any onboarding actions to be required and to be done. First of all, I can see that the super fund needs to be done. And the reason for that is that the superannuation that this person is providing to us is not linked in the payroll yet. If it was linked in the payroll, the system would link it automatically. So what I would do is I would go activate the person and say they were onboarded. And then once I save, that would give me the opportunity to link the person to all the information that is required. First thing I need to do is make sure that the taxation information is correct. And because I'm a payroll person, I don't trust very easily. So I like to make sure that everything is correct myself. Pay distribution details, that's looking good. Taxation details, that's looking good. If anything is missing, I can contact the HR person or the employee direct. Once I've done that, I would then add a payroll group to the person saying that this is the payroll that they are attached to and putting in either the annual salary or the standard rate. Once that is done and saved, I would add their standard pay. So any payroll person would know standard pay is something that would copy over to the current pay when we pay them before we start importing any time that needs to be paid for this employee. Once that is done, I'll let Sophia know, and I'm going to go back to her now. Sophia, we're all done on this side for the moment. If you can carry on with the clocking, that would be great.
Thanks, Julia. Hello, everyone. I've logged in as one of our sample employee, Mr. Greg here. And in here, I will take you through these key functions. If we click on this roster page, we can see any upcoming rosters of this employee. Leave and availability icon allows us to view the historical leave request of this employee, as well as apply for the new leave request. If we click on new request here, we need to specify the date of the leave request, leave type in here. Once this system is gone live, this leave request will be synced to the advanced payroll site. You could choose to show this to the employee of their balances or not. And we could also specify a minimum balance in here. For example, some employers, they may don't want to share with the employee once they may don't want their employee to apply for leave once their entitlement becomes 0, we could put their 0 in it. So when employee apply for the leave request, which allows their leave becomes negative or 0, the system will automatically reject this leave request. Then we can provide a note in here by saying move. And we could also upload any supporting documents such as their medical certificate for sick leave. Click next. We can submit leave request to the managers. In this document area, managers could share the document to their employees. In this payroll icon, employees can access their pay slips. In this clock in and clock out, we could ask employees to clock in and clock out. Facial recognition is recognized, then we can try to do a clock in. We can just click clock in here and take a photo. Remember, smile to start your day. And employers could insert any clocking questions in here. Click submit. This will be pushed through the timesheets under the managers. Now let's navigate back into the workforce management. For managers and other payroll administrators, we could view this roster page by different time range, by different criteria such as location, employee, etc. We could either roster the employee for the individual employee by clicking this plus icon, or we could update the employee in bulk. There are several options. For example, we could click add standard hours, which allows us to add the standard hours which have been set up in the employee's master file. Or we could copy the shift from the previous time range to the upcoming date range. Another quite handy function is called template to work in conjunction with the smart roster. Let's have a look at templates in here. In here, we could specify the shift requirements for the shifts, such as the positions, locations, and the qualifications of the employee. Then I can show you how do we apply this roster. If we click template and find this template, click apply, specify the date of this start date of this template. Click apply. Yeah, in here, we will see this empty spot here. If we click Smart Roster, the system will compare the employee master file with the shift requirements. Only the employees meeting these specific requirements will be allocated these shifts here. Now let's jump back to the leave request in here. In here, managers could edit, approve, and decline the leave request, which has been sent through from the employee's mobile app. Managers could also apply for leave on behalf of the employee. Once this leave request has been approved, this leave request will be sent through to the timesheets in here. In this timesheets function here, managers could view and edit and approve these timesheets which have been sent through from the employee mobile app, such as their clock on, clock off entries, as well as the leave request which has been approved. We can find our clock, which I have just done, and click complete here. And let me quickly show you here. I can click the photo. We can see this employee is quite happy and she's smart. We click on view on a map in here. This will direct to the GPS. It will show the clock on, clock off of our employee. And managers could bulk select the timesheets and do a bulk approve and a bulk authorization. and you may need a higher level manager to do authorization, and so that the payroll administrator could commit this to payroll and add this timesheet to a payroll. Once this timesheet has been added to payroll, because we have got these payrolls set up in the system based on the company award interpretation or company EBAs, we have specified these conditions such as period overtime, weekend loadings, etc. Once this timesheet has been pushed through to the payroll, these award interpretation conditions will apply automatically. For example, these are the timesheets we have been finalized. And if you click on single employee, we can see this award interpretation has been applied. Once this timesheet has been finalized, these timesheets will be synced through to the advanced payroll site in 1 minute. And Julia will present to us what she can do and what she will see once this timesheet has been synchronized to her site. Over to you, Julia.
Thank you very much again, Sophia. Once HR, or Sophia in this case, has sorted out workforce management, it feeds into something called the timesheet batches. If we have a look at a timesheet batch, what you'll find in that batch is all the employees that have come through from workforce management, and they've been mapped to the information that sits in payroll. Once I've done that, as a payroll administrator, I would want to open a payroll. So, actions, create payroll, and from this drop-down box, I can specify which payroll group I want to open. I'm going to do my monthly or my fortnightly payroll, the pay period start and end dates, and the physical pay date. Always make a point of checking those dates. Once I've done that, click OK. And what it does is it looks at everybody that is in that pay group and imports their information into the current pay. This includes super, leave accruals, and any deductions that the employer may require on a permanent basis. When I go into that pay run, I can then see everything that's happening in that pay run. At a quick look, I can see what their income will be, what their PAYG is, even their employee super, and I can see immediately if there's any problems. This information can be dumped into Excel to be looked at and manipulated if required. At this stage, I would then go into my actions and I would click on Import Timesheets. This will bring in all the information that is coming through from workforce management. Once it's done, I'm going to get my little green tick and I'm ready to go. If I am going to make changes to this, not a problem at all. All I need to do is click on the employee and go and make changes. Someone might have said all of a sudden, we needed some overtime that wasn't put through in the system. No problem. Let's pay the overtime. 2 more hours and I would save it. So it doesn't matter if we're importing from workforce management, everything can be changed within the system, including leave. Once I've done all my changes, I may need to look at some standard reporting. Standard reporting here in the system, for example, the pay summary, it's just a very basic report, but we can create any report you want. And of course, the system has many, many, many reports. Once I've looked at my reporting and I'm A-okayed it, I can pop back into the pay run by a little hyperlink. Anything you see in blue is a hyperlink. And I can then sign it off and say it's A-okay. At this stage, I will hit process. The system's going to tell me I can't make any further changes after that, and I'm going to say okay. Once the system is processed, I have the opportunity to complete it or cancel the pay run. At this stage, I'm going to complete it because I'm happy with it. In this process, you should get a message here that says, would you like to submit your information to the single touch payroll? At that stage, you will say absolutely yes and send it through the MYOB clearinghouse to STP. Once that's done, you will then get to another screen, and this is the screen where you can create the ABA file to pay people. You may have more than one ABA file, depending on how many companies you actually pay in one pay run. Yes, I did say that. How many companies you pay in one pay run. What is really great about Advanced is that you can have many companies in this particular tenant, And when you pay employees in one pay run, you can create separate ABA files to upload to the bank. And of course, the journals will be posted separately as well. So once I've created my ABA file, I'm going to say export. It'll create the ABA file for me. There it is. I'm going to save it and I can upload it to the bank to pay my employees. Once I've uploaded to the bank, I will then, let me go back, apologies. I will then release my batch and that would send it to the finance side of things. So even if you're not using the advanced finance side of things, you can still use the payroll. You can then extract your GL's information and upload it to your current finance system. Once I've done that, the pay slips don't need to be emailed. They will be automatically available in the employee's workforce management on their phone or in the system. So I think we're pretty much done here, Sophia. Great job. Over to you, Grant.